So, in part two of your book, you start going through a series of examples where you emphasize the importance of nervous system work over just talk therapy. What practices have you found help people move from survival mode they might be encountering into true healing?
I think I would start just by looking at our language. I've referenced even in our talk this idea that people are saying, well, just raise your self-esteem or set a healthy boundary, right? Take care of yourself. And these are behavioral interventions that make sense rationally. No one's going to argue, right? It's a very cognitive based, of course, this makes sense to me. Now go and do it response. But because what we're talking about is centered in our survival instincts, these come online without our rational mind. We don't have a sense of choice really in the matter. So, what we have to start to orient to is not what we think about a thing, but what we're actually experiencing. And this is the language that we use in every trauma therapy that I've ever learned. We don't say, what do you think about that? Tell me your opinion. What should you do? We say, what are you noticing now? And to the listener, you might want to notice. Bring your attention down into your body. It might be physical sensation. It might be a feeling. It might even be orienting with your senses, which are the language of the nervous system. What do I see? Right? What do I notice? What do I hear?
Hmm.
And by orienting in this way, it sounds so simple, but what we're ultimately doing is creating a relationship to two things: present time and place, which means we're not being hijacked by historical trauma running the show, and a relationship with ourself in our own body. And this to me is the bedrock for growing everything else that is a result of this work, which is changing my orientation to safety from being external, do you like me? Do you give me permission? To internal. Who am I? How do I feel? What do I notice right now? And the more that I can build on that sense of knowing and those cues and honoring whatever is there, right? That's the other big piece of it. It's not just what do we notice, but can we linger there? Can we bring some self compassion and curiosity to that process? These are the building blocks.
When you bring that self compassion to your healing, you describe it as a paradox. You say we must lower the bar to lower our defenses. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think what I mean, even if you think about talk therapy, is considered this top down approach, right? You think about the human body, even the prefrontal cortex is the last part of the brain to develop. And that's what I'm talking about with these cognitive rational solutions. Lowering the bar, in part, is lowering into our physical bodies, into our guts, right? This second brain that has a whole different wisdom that's might not even be able to articulate necessarily what's going on. It speaks a different language. So part of it is this lowering the bar of what you think about that to what you're noticing, but it's also about the shame that we've experienced by not being able to engage in these cognitive rational solutions. It gets all of that out of the way and says, you know what? You make sense. Your body did exactly what your body was designed to do in that situation to keep you safe. So can we honor the roots of the FAWN response as genius and adaptive and healthy? And we are not meant to live in a chronic trauma response. We are not meant to live in survival mode 24/7. So when we understand that the origins of this thing is adaptive and healthy, it lowers the bar on the shame, which means we can go, I'm not just fundamentally broken, right? I make sense. I did this for a reason. And now I can find more flexibility.